Anyways, okay. But yeah, so we're gonna be focused on aggro today for commander, because is aggro dead for most people?
I think most people would say yes, but it really depends on your meta. So like in our play group, like aggro is actually still pretty viable, but that's because like we like to play aggressive and get the ball going, get in that chip damage, and you know probably it depends because we do play a lot of things that like black market connections, Forex Arena, stuff like that, like that pays life. So we definitely want to like make you actually feel like, oh, should I actually use my life as a resource? But yeah, otherwise, I do think that most people would say aggro is dead because it's so much to do. It's 120 life to chew through.
If they're
Or
not gaining life.
yeah, oh yeah, and that's not even counting like a lot of casual players do love life gain decks, and then like yes, there's like infect, but you know how people feel about poison counters, so it's like you don't really see that all too often, honestly. But it's not to say that aggro is like a bad strategy per se. I still think it's pretty viable. It's just you got to play it right. So
Yeah.
speaking about aggro, it's like what's I see that we have Chatterfang. What's Chatterfang is like what does he do?
Oh, well, I was gonna start off. I was gonna say so. What we're gonna do is we're gonna be focusing on like three different playstyles for aggro, the three more conventional styles that you see more often, and then depending on the time, we're gonna go into like the weird stuff for aggro. The stuff that's aggro, but is so narrow you can't really apply it anywhere else. So there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna talk about today. It's stuff that, as long as you understand the concepts behind what you're doing, you can reapply it to any commander you're gonna go into the future with, any new commander that shows up, or maybe an old commander that you rediscovered. Or maybe something like you watched yourself get smashed by Xenagos for 30 damage. Maybe 40. And yeah, you're a little upset. Or maybe someone swung Levant at you for kill. And you
Oh,
how do these decks work? Like
you got
we're
your
gonna get to the
pants.
understanding though.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, oh, you get your pants, caught down when the attached skull, was it Maul of the Skyclave?
All this cycling.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But
Alright,
anyways,
so we're
the
gonna
first.
focus on the three overarching that are the most popular. So that's gonna be Stompy, uh, Go Wide with tokens, and then Voltron, which are the go tall strategies.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So,
So
as I say, starting off, I think Stompy is what we had on our agenda first.
No, it's tokens.
Oh, tokens? Alright. So, with token strategies, the general game plan is to go wide, go far, and typically kill them by 1,000 cuts.
the
And
best
it,
example I can think of is like think of like Zerg Rush, right? You just want to make so many things that your opponent gets overwhelmed and they can't block everything, and then you basically surround them and you get the perfect the StarCraft nerding out, but you
yeah,
get the perfect surface area ratio where you just deal damage in all corners.
I was
But
about
you
to, s-
can't really
I was about to say people need context of what a Zerg rush is. If they don't,
yeah, so
I know, like, what's the last time someone played StarCraft? Maybe, like,
uh
Destiny?
I still love StarCraft. Maybe one day they'll make a universe beyond for it. But anyways,
oh
the whole
no,
I think Warhammer was great. I think StarCraft could do well.
they
But
could, they could.
that's another day for another topic. But yeah, so like the whole point of tokens is like, you want to go so wide that your opponent can't block everything. And then every commander or every version of like tokens kind of has their own like extra flavor to it, depending on like the commander and the colors you have access to. Um, and I would say that most token strategies are white green. Um, would you guys kind of agree on that? Like
Mm,
white or green in it?
Green or white's typically the base for the
Mm-hmm.
deck. And then they like, as we have up here with Othari, they splash into red, or
Yeah.
they
So
splash into black, or they
yeah,
splash into their other color.
But
Exactly.
a lot of token decks rely on like cards. I can't think of it at the top of my mind, but like there's a lot of white cards now that help create double tokens or generate
Not,
tokens.
yeah, Noted Pretension is like Imperial Lives. That's why I always like think of like white green is like the base that most people want to do, and then
Yeah.
you kind of.
Overclock.
Oh yeah,
Overclock.
the new guy that triple creature tokens. Yeah, that's another one too.
Oh my gosh.
But essentially, yeah, like Othari, you go wide by like attacking. You make a bunch of rebel tokens, um, and then Chatterfang, he goes wide by like whenever you make any kind of token, you get an addition. You get that many once green squirrels as well. And so is you kind of pick and choose your favorite flavor of tokens, and you just keep spamming the board. Um, and then usually most token decks would play a lot of protection spells to kind of protect your board because your board state is very your strategy is very board dependent, and you try to finish things off with like an anthem of some kind or an overrun effect. Anything that kind of gives your creatures like a massive pump.
Mhm.
So like things like Greater Hoof,
Yeah, Crater.
yeah.
How did we forget Crater Hoof Behemoth?
I don't know. I think it's because it's like almost an auto include in every single like green deck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Nowadays-
like Greater Hoof.
But it's also like there are people who are priced out of it.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
there's
true,
also
but
the alternative. I forgot what the crap.
And Razor Forerunners.
Yes, and Raiders are forerunners.
or yeah,
Why do I remember these cards? Such a
the-
loser.
No,
there's also the sister card too, the one that just came out with Wild Drain. People might still be priced out of that one because I think it's still like 20-ish bucks, but it's like Moonshaker Cavalry.
That card sucks.
What? It gives flying.
There's no haste.
Oh, the white one.
Oh,
The white
There's
one.
so many things wrong with it, and then
okay. I guess that's true. It itself does not have haste, but
and you can't natural order it.
That's true.
That's 2 strikes against it.
There's no.
that just tells. Well, white does have really sweet flicker effects. I'm just saying, if you don't kill everybody, you can flicker it, and then you go kill another person.
I'm not a fan of the white one, but yeah, it's there.
It's there. It's not bad. It's just like another overrun effect, or you can just play classic overrun itself, which is like 5 mana sorcery that gives you +3/+3 and trample to all your creatures.
I thought it was. Is it +3 or +2/+2?
It's
Overrun
+3/+3. Yeah,
Okay.
and like
Overcome is +2.
It's
yeah.
what?
So
Overcome is +2.
Oh, you're
Over
right.
Overrun is +3. Yeah, that's right. I have useless knowledge.
well, yeah.
And
So
raise 4 runners +2.
but it gives you
Nice.
vigilance though.
It does.
Yeah, so that's like sometimes like if you don't have enough firepower to KO all the players, at least you can KO the majority of them, and like the niche ones, like Enraged Forerunners gives vigilance, so you kind of like still have blockers, so you don't die on the crackback. And then that's just a couple example of like anthem style finishers. There's Jetmir is another really good anthem one. Although his is not a trigger ability, he does have the downside as a static ability. So if someone does have removal spell in the combat phase, then you do lose that anthem. But still, though, he is 4 mana and he puts in a lot of work.
Would Jetmir be your go-to commander if you wanted to build a token deck?
He's really good, and I actually did build him tokens and as well as like hate bears as well. Another form to go wide, but that's a different thing. But and then after playing a couple times on the cockatrice, I don't know if you remember Mitchell, but I think it was like 3 games in a row, and you're just like, my lord, you're just like, why is Jetmir so fast?
Yeah, it's
like,
like turn 4, you get a 5/4. I'm like, oh
no,
gosh.
it's like yeah.
Oh
it's
my
just, like,
gosh! Now
all the mana dorks, yeah.
I just played myself into a future in something that we're gonna be talking about soon.
yeah.
I
exactly.
literally just
a 4 mana 5/4. But yeah,
Oh my
basically,
God.
Jetmir's pretty sweet, and I think the funniest thing was the most memorable thing was that people always dissed on the red channel and Sokenzen from Kamigawa, where it's like you make 2/1/1 spirit tokens. So Mitchell thought he was safe, but I top decked Sokenzen, and then I channeled Sokenzen, got to the critical mass of needing 9 creatures. and then all my creatures getting +3/+0 and double strike, vigilance, and trample.
That's
So
dirty.
yeah, and then like so yeah, Jetmir is really good. But me personally, if I was to play Naya, I would play Marath though. Um, because like Marath is kind of like he's like a Swiss Army knife. He kind of he can go wide with the counter or with the tokens, and then yeah, he's not as efficient anthem wise, but like any unblocked tokens, you can kind of pump +1/+1 counters, and it's kind of really fun playing those mind games as well. So Marath is kind of like that weird, interesting next category of aggro, where we have Stompies, and Stompy is kind of like the middle ground between going wide and going tall.
Oh wait, hold on. Before sorry, I just want to bring this up before we moved on too far. In regards to token decks too,
Hmm.
of the aggro archetypes, they're actually one of the more unique ones where you're not actually tied to. You're very open to different color combinations. So the next one we mentioned, which is as we're going to Stompy, that one's a lot more color locked. And
Yeah,
so you
definitely
can't,
green heavy, right?
yeah, you can't achieve Stompy without going like heavy into blue or heavy into green, and then you splash like a little bit of the other stuff. But with tokens, you can go blue tokens, black tokens, any color tokens you want. There's an option there for you. Like earlier, we pulled up Chatterfang. He's green black, so there's one.
I would.
Or if you go to
Sorry.
or Marath, which is Naya, and then there's a couple Boros options too, which aren't here, but
Othari being one of them, yeah.
sorry, it's
Exactly.
one of them. Yep.
Yep.
I
And
would.
even
Sorry.
sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're fine. I think it would tie it in with at the end of it.
Okay. And then even if you we don't have any blue options currently, but if you really want to do blue, there's Talron for tokens, and then blue does have good token generators
Oh, that's true.
like
There's
Whirler Rogue,
Talran. Yeah.
Whirler Rogue, and then Rhea is another one. So token generation and token aggro is something that is available in all colors, and if you don't like a certain color combination, you can always, but you want to play aggro, you have variety and choices there.
You know, I would disagree on all the on all the colors, because I think what there's a common theme with all these colors that they have is protection, and I don't think black can efficiently like protect their tokens well, unless I'm mistaken. Like,
No, what Black does instead though is that like this is leaning more towards like another strategy, which is like aristocrats, where it's like you kind of have that rattlesnake effect, where it's like don't
yeah,
touch my stuff or else you'll get drained,
No step
right?
on snake.
Exactly. So it's like that's where Black does it a little bit differently. But I do agree that like you want ways to protect your board. Black does it differently, where it's more like a deterrent, if anything.
yeah, because it's like blue has counter spells, green has a lot of indestruct like protection, and then
So does
red and white has like what's the Boros charm.
Well,
Those are
red.
like
red
Yeah,
can also just ping them in response
that's
for
true.
sacrifice.
yeah, yeah. If you're playing mono red tokens, that's like the only hard part. But yeah, you just try to burn them out as fast as you can, if anything.
Okay.
So yeah, you
But
got
yeah,
you definitely got options, and then
All right, on to
all right,
so
Stompy.
yeah.
Stompy.
So now as we move into our next one with Stompy, as we mentioned already, you're pretty color locked into green and something with big creatures.
So like essentially Stompy is like the idea is that it's like that hybrid of like you want to go wide, but you're nowhere wide enough compared to tokens. But the trade-off is that you're going to get a lot bigger bodies. If you notice, a lot of the creatures are going to be like 4 mana 4/4s, 4 mana 5/4s, stuff like that. And the idea is that you want to play creatures that make an immediate impact either by pumping up your creatures or giving haste. Like Xenagos is a great one where start your combat, you can choose your creature that just came into play, give it +X/+X, and then all of a sudden you just start going to town. Surak is another one too. It's like more budget friendly for sure. Nowhere near as good, but it's still serviceable. He's a 4 mana 5/4. He gets in the red zone. And then the new version of Sorak and Goreclaw, for 2 more mana, essentially gives all your other creatures trample, which is great because you want to get that damage through. And then he also happens to give haste as well and a +1/+1 counter. Um, yeah. So if you're not feeling, the white weenie token strategies where like your small creatures go wide, Stompy might be one for you. And there's so many different flavors of Stompy as well. Because Gorkwa gives you discounts. You can have different ways, or you can play mana dorks like Selvala, and I can't believe we forgot to pull up Selvala, but like you can play.
Because Sylvala's like combo, I'd say.
Yeah, but in the 99, you're gonna use.
Is a Stompy commander. But
It
I
is.
mean, there's so many choices.
Yeah, there's just
many
so many good choices that you can do essentially.
Yeah, I mean.
And then just now we got like Lost Caverns of Ixalan with Gishath, right? Gishath is like, yeah, he's tribal dinosaurs.
Ixalan, but yeah.
Well, he got a reprint. He got a reprint, so he's a lot more affordable. Because wasn't he like up to like $40 at one point?
No. What?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, like Gishath was like some people were priced out of dinosaurs.
Oh, I guess Ixalan. Yeah, 30. It's like
I knew
$30.
Zakama hit 50.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then he got reprinted as a rare.
Yeah, and then Zakama got reprinted in Double Masters, so then that brought his price down like tanked really hard. But yeah, Gishath was like really expensive. But now you can definitely build a dinosaur Stompy deck, and dinosaurs just happens to be like Indo Stompy colors. You get the red for haste, you got the white for protection, the green for the ramp, and then Gishath like helps you cheat out like big fatty creatures. And then not only that, but like there's a commander deck for dinosaurs. It doesn't have Gishath in it, but it does have Xenagos, which is great because now you can live the dream of playing Xenagos and then curving into Gishath, giving Gishath +7/+7 because that's his power, and you're swinging for 14 damage, flip 14 cards, and then boom, live the dream.
That's the dream.
Xenagos is like the peak of Stompy for me.
Yes, essentially, I would say like if you're a Timmy player, Stompy is definitely something up your alley. Like you're gonna love it.
Timmy player.
Right?
What? Yeah.
Am I not wrong? Not right?
I mean,
here?
yeah.
Like,
I guess my Shivan Dragon swinging in for 8 damage, like in the air. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And
Oh
then,
wait,
like,
no, even better because Shivan Dragon has fire breathing. You pump up the Shivan Dragon.
Oh,
and
before combat, you could, yeah.
And then you get
Yeah.
in there with.
Yeah, you definitely can. Like, there's so many things, and like we're not even counting like, silly extra combat stuff because assuming you're in red.
Oh yeah.
Because then like if we don't have an extra combat spell like pulled up just yet, but like it's just
yeah, okay.
But yeah, it's just like Gishath benefits off of extra combats, but essentially most of your stuff is going to benefit off of extra combats because extra combats essentially means you're stomping them into the ground even more.
Yeah.
I mean,
at that point, if you hit everyone for 20 plus damage like in like 2 or 3 turns, I think you're gonna win.
Exactly. So like you have to kind of take advantage of like extra combat spells. Essentially treat them as like almost like extra turns because you are so attack focused, and with 120 life to chew through, you need all the ways you can get to squeeze in that damage. So you're gonna play like overcosted fatties, so that it makes it really difficult to block. Like Elder Gargaroth is another good one. It's a 5-mana 6/6, I believe, right?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Well, with vigilance, reach, and trample.
Yeah. So then, like, even if you can't kill all the players, at least like, Elder Gargaroth is a good example of like, it's on blocks. You don't die to the crackback. Gives you some card advantage. Gives you some life.
Is Elder Gargaroth the next menace?
It's a menace in cube. It's been a menace.
It's been a menace in cube.
Just not in commander. It's the only format it's not a menace in.
No,
yeah,
it isn't.
Whenever
it comes out,
it's really good.
Yeah,
but it's not good enough where like you have to kill on sight because we got power creep going on, right? Like
what?
most people would kill like other things.
Really?
I don't see it. I don't see it in commander. Okay.
Insane. No, because whenever I like I play it or I see Chris plays it in a pod, and it's like, and they're
It puts in work. It puts in work.
no, people
it should.
people say something. They're like, "Oh crap!" Everyone says something because it's like it does so many things.
Well, because it was a menace in standard.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying is like it's imprinted in their mind. So they're just like they have war flashbacks.
You know why? I remember now. This card got printed when when COVID happened. Everyone went to go play Arena.
Yeah, right. I think so. And then
on Arena had to sit there and stare at this card for 2 years.
Elder Gargaroth. Oh my goodness, a menace. Such a good boy though. He puts in work.
Yo, I ain't scared of COVID. I'm scared of Gargaroth.
Oh my gosh.
COVID needs to go so I can go back outside. I don't want to deal with this shit.
Oh my gosh. And then think about it too. Is like we're with every set chances are you're gonna get other menaces like Gargaroth, like undercosted, heavily keywords and stat box. It's a Stompy deck. We're getting there, and then people will. The best thing is any aggro strategy. If people underestimate you, ooh, they're gonna learn.
He gonna learn today.
They're gonna learn today.
and I would say that a good what else I've been trying to say is that when you play Stompy, it's not like you're gonna win outright. It's like a slow, gradual value win.
I don't see it that way with Stompy.
You don't see it that way?
It
Not with
depends.
Stompy.
It depends on how good of a start you get. Because if you get a really explosive start, you can go
okay.
hard.
Well, yeah, you can
But,
go hard, but
otherwise, yeah, you're right. If you only cast one fatty per turn cycle and then get in there, yeah, it'll take a while. But that's why you try your best to play cards that's in your color. So if you have red, Hasten Neighbors are really good. Extra combat spells are really good. Xenagos, things that gives you massive pumps. At this point, I keep talking about pumps. I'm gonna start sounding like Arnold.
no,
Do you feel the pump?
But I was gonna say, well, with Stompy, what it is, if you're paying attention to the board, people don't pay attention when they play Commander. That's part of it.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you are paying attention, everyone will notice when you play Xenagos, when you play Ferock and Gorgo, when you play these big creatures, people notice.
When you play the Gargaroth.
And then when the people who aren't paying attention, they notice when you hit them for 18. They're like, wait.
Yeah, it's like they wake up a lot, like a wake up slap. There's like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I can't take another hit or I'll be dead.
It's so funny when it happens too. They're like, guys, we gotta get rid of it, and then it's like I'm looking at them. It's like, yeah, I've been saying that for the past 3 turns.
Hit this! Where you at?
Yeah, it's and it's like, yeah, you used your kill spell on my creature instead of their freaking stomping creature. Okay.
Right. No, yeah, that's always how it is, right? It's because it's not until they get hit for
Alex Jones yelling at us and no one listened to him until it's too late.
Yeah, it's like
Burning the dinosaurs gang.
Yeah, because they rather get rid of something that's mildly infuriating, like a small stacks piece or something that or they'll hold a grudge if you counter their spell or something like that.
Right.
And then all of a sudden oh hey, you happen to be open. I swing you in for 15, 18 damage or something like that.
Guys, we gotta get rid of them.
Yeah, and then technically they're not wrong where it's oh don't you should kind of let the aggro player do some of the work for you. And don't worry about it until they come at you. But the problem is that they always use their removals on things that they shouldn't have.
Speaking of which, of what you should use your removal for Voltron, right?